Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host, Johnny Hellcat, and I'm going to be continuing the game. This is, of course, Crypt Custodian. And I am kind of lost because I don't remember where I was supposed to go. But I do have a couple of new spots on the map that I can probably reach and see what I can get figured out. Hey, Jen. Oh, yep. Okay, so that's not where I want to be going, because that's near the end of the game, I'm guessing. So... those are locked. Let's go this way then. Alright, so we do want to go this way. All right. Hey, Rotten. Hey, Assassin. Okay, so that's that way. I think I've already been here. Which makes me wonder if there is... okay, I can go up and around. Well, I figured with how I was playing the game, then it would be a reason to start a little bit earlier. Well, what do we got? 3 large projectiles upon death. Ah, shit. All right. Let's try going this way. Hey, Keeper Dam. Basement. Okay. Okay, so let's try going this way. Nope, not that way. That's gonna be a... There we go. Okay, let's see here. Let's try it that way. Why not? Okay, something's gonna make me go the other way. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck that. Thank you. I gotta go back down there again. Bugger all. Okay, I've already been here. See, that is the Diamantis school of not sucking. Is this the way I want to go? I guess. Okay, maybe not. Hey, Sanguine.
Hello, I just realized that this doesn't have my avatar right now. Let me...
That's okay. People can barely see you anyway.
Say again?
People can barely see you anyway.
Ah, okay.
I'm streaming the game, so it's we're in the very top right corner of the screen.
I'm not even gonna fuck with finding the picture.
Kind of out of sight, but kind of also there. So.
How are all of you doing tonight?
I'm not doing too bad. How about you?
I'm doing grand. Trying to figure out why everything... It seems like all my settings got fucked up between last week and right now. And I'm trying to figure out why. Because I can hear you, but I can barely hear you.
That's weird. Oh, of course. You whore. There.
I returned. Sorry about that. Ended up hitting something that I did not mean to while trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with all my settings. But it's still soft. Okay. So mucking about and finding more bosses to murk?
Yeah. Trying to.
Have you found any since last time?
No. Not yet, at least. Oh, shit. Too ambitious. Okay, this is where we're here. You know what? Let's go to find us an ability here.
Do you know where another ability is?
Yeah, back at the crow.
Ah.
Slime Scraper causes enemies to drop more garbage. Falling no longer takes damage. Upgrade disables during boss fights. Oh, that sucks.
Tonight I made something for the first time.
What you got?
I made effectively shrimp katsu. So what you do is you grind or mince up your shrimp. Then you mix them up into a paste with some potatoes, starch, a bit of liquid, an egg, stuff like that. Effectively, you're making shrimp meatball, but then you form it into a patty. And then you bread that, you deep fry it. It should be delicious.
Nice.
And then I've mixed up effectively a quick and dirty Asian flavored tartar sauce. And that sauce is just absolutely crack.
Alright, so since that's not working out in my best interest, let's try a different direction. Now, I was going to make a gluten-free pizza, actually. I was going to try and make instead of buying a $7 gluten-free pizza crust, I was going to just go ahead and make my own. Got home from work today, and I'm just like, no. I'm not, I don't have the energy for this. Even though the recipe's pretty easy, I'm just not feeling it.
So, how do they do theirs? The one that you have?
Let's see, you put in the yeast and your mixture. Oh, what the hell is that? And then, oh, let's go going backwards. And then you mixed in the you mix in the added stuff with the your flour. While the dough is in the well, the yeast is there. They want you to put sugar in to speed up the yeasting process or whatever.
Well, because yeast requires sugar.
Yeah. But you let that sit for about 5 minutes, and then yeah, pretty much go from there. Yeah.
But what type of flours does it use?
With the flour I have, it's Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1.
Ah, okay.
So it's got the xanthan gum already mixed in.
I wonder how gluten-free potato bread would taste. That seems like it would probably have the taste that is the most similar to normal bread of the same type, because potato bread always has a potato bread taste. I wonder how the gluten-free would change potato bread taste.
Well, from what I have experienced with gluten-free breads, is they're pretty flat. Because the gluten doesn't really
helps trap the air.
Yeah.
But if you're taking a bread like a potato bread, which it's not just the gluten that's trapping, or that's helping trap the air, helping with the elasticity, but it's also the mashed potatoes that you mix in. Wonder how that would do.
Oops. I know, I've been wanting to experiment with making breads. You will die in one hit. Defeat 15 enemies to remove the curse. Of course. Whoa! Just dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Woo!
I still love... Did you ever see the actual Dodgeball League?
Yeah.
Did you watch back in the days of the CPA just absolutely kicking ass?
No, I was never really that, like, I never followed it that closely. I just thought it was ridiculous that they had one.
Oh, it was hilarious, especially since none of the teams took it serious. I mean, shit. The team that won the first season was the CPAs, who were all CPAs, but their team stood for Certified Public Assassins. It was just a bunch of dorks, unapologetically being a bunch of dorks.
Well, I mean, it's dodgeball, so...
Exactly.
Six to go.
It wasn't until later seasons where people started taking it a bit too seriously and they started adding in weird gimmicks to the seasons,
Yeah.
which didn't need to be there. Like, I think it was the third season of the league where they started adding in special types of dodgeballs. And no. Knock that shit off. Just have them throw dodgeballs at people. You want to have a big ball? Okay, you have a big ball. But get out of here with the rest of that bullshit.
Oh, bullshit. Come on. Blocked by a fucking statue.
Especially since I think the only thing that the big ball did when it was added, which I think it was added, it might have been the first season, but it might have been the second season. The only thing that the big ball did was it made it easier to block, and if you actually got someone out with the big ball, you got an additional point, because you fucking should when you throw a 2.5 foot diameter ball at someone and you're actually able to hit them and they don't catch that shit, you should get an extra point.
I really should map this.
So you know where the hell you're going?
Well, so I can remember where that defeat 15 enemies to break the curse thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all well and fucking good, but...
Are you guys hearing that really crispy crust on the katsu as I'm slicing it?
I cannot because the game's too loud.
Fair enough. Sometimes my mic picks that shit up ridiculously loud. Other times it doesn't.
I don't know, I've never had an implant, so that is beyond me. I've had plenty of root canals, so that's something I can go war stories on, but yeah, not.
I haven't even had a cavity. I did have to have a shit ton of teeth removed because the actual space for my teeth in my mouth is rather small.
So you have a small mouth.
I have a small, not really a small mouth, it's just a small section of my jaw that the teeth are.
Okay.
But I had to get something like fucking teeth removed from my head. So that my teeth could actually fit.
Okay, so at least there's that. Hooray for points. What if I should go back to the beginning levels and defeat the easy monsters?
Seems reasonable. There's something about this game that's somewhat hypnotic. Where you just kind of zone out while watching it.
Yeah.
Tyr had all of his wisdom teeth removed and one cavity. Like I said, I had... The space for my teeth was rather small, so I had a shit ton of teeth pulled out of my head. And then I had dental work because I was born with extremely English teeth.
English teeth.
Yes. Have you never heard the phrase English teeth before?
I have never heard English teeth before.
So the English are famous for their absolutely horrifically bad teeth. They come in all fucked up, They have to be moved into their proper places. So, if you have English teeth, you have just fucked up teeth in your head. Where they aren't pointing in the right direction, they try to overcrowd, overlap, some are kind of turned sideways. They come in at places where they shouldn't be coming in. I'm surprised that you've never heard English teeth before.
Nope. And for someone with bad teeth, yeah, I would say that I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Oh, here, it was an interesting experience then trying to get everything to shift around in my head. Especially since I have very strong teeth and very strong jaw muscles. To the point where, you guys remember those Altoid sour things?
Yeah.
They were rather durable little tins, weren't they?
Yeah.
I could bite those flat.
Neat.
So, yeah, there was some interesting getting things to not break in my mouth. That had to be done in order to actually get my dental work done. One of the more annoying ones was they effectively had to grind down a couple of my teeth a little bit. Because the canines were just long enough, they would try to dig at the base of the braces on the bottom set of canines. So I had to kind of grind those down just to get them to not take off the actual cemented bit. As has been determined several times over here, I'm a giant dwarf. Whiskey out, grab a beer.
I don't think I can make that jump yet. Alright, so let's try... Can't go that way until I get the films.
There's a difference between not thinking that you can make the jump and actually not being able to make the jump. Have you figured out which one it is?
I cannot make the jump yet.
Okay. As long as you have died several times in the attempt.
I have taken some damage in the attempt.
Oh yeah, that was a big problem for me as well, Rotten. So, one of the things that I had to do when I was really little was, I think I was in first grade when this happened. My teeth had started to wear down my gum line. So I needed to get my gum line reinforced, and to do that they had to take a section of skin from the roof of my mouth and stitch it onto my bottom gum. So they gave me the option of I could be passed, like they could knock me out, or they could just sedate me a bit, but not enough to knock me out, just enough that I wouldn't feel anything. They asked me which one I wanted, or they asked my parents which one they wanted, and I was asked by my parents which one I'd prefer, and I said I wanted to be knocked out, so they told the doc to knock me out. So they tried, and the med, I'm trying to remember which med it was. I want to say it was either Valium or one of the Valium-derived suppressants. But it's a med that rather good at knocking people the fuck out. And it's supposed to knock an adult out, a good-sized adult out, at about 5 cc's. I was a very small child.
I don't think that's whichever one you were just mentioning, because that's the one they gave me for my vasectomy, and it did not knock me out.
Well, there's different dosage levels that you can do. So you can do a dosage that just loops you up and makes it so that you don't really care. You can do a dosage that knocks you out. So you get a range of dosages in between those. And if I remember correctly, the dosage that is supposed to knock out an adult male of a decent size is about 5 cc's. I was a rather small child. They said that I shouldn't take more than 2.5 cc's in order to completely loop out for the day.
And your mom's like, so 5 it is.
And the response was, okay, we'll see how much it takes. And they started giving me the med. So they started with a bit less than 2.5, and I was still awake, still talking. So they gave me 2.5, I was still awake, still talking. They gave me 3.5, I was still awake, still talking. And this is each time they're giving just the difference in order to get up to the total dose that I'm saying. So they went up to 4, still awake, still talking. 4.5, still awake, still talking. 5, still awake, still talking. 5.5, still awake, still talking. 6, still awake, still talking. They eventually tapped out at 7.5, and they went, we aren't giving him more. This is dangerous. And that was when they decided to perform the surgery on me. Anyways, despite me not being knocked out, I was high as a kite. I wasn't knocked out, though. And as they were doing the surgery, they of course had monitors hooked up, with the fact that they gave me more med than they thought that they should have to give me. They had heart rate sensors, shit like that, hooked up. And I realized partway through, as I am absolutely stoned out of my mind, effectively, due to the amount of this med that they have pumped into my system, that if I squeeze my hand, I can make funny beeping noises. So I start fluttering my hand, and it immediately, they had the, one of the heart rate sensors. It was one of those pulse ox / heart rate sensors on my hand.
The one that cups on your finger?
Yep. So, I start fiddling with my hand, and as I'm just fiddling with my hand, the heart rate monitor starts to just shriek at me. They start panicking because they've given me more med than they were originally thinking that they would have to give me. And they're going, oh my god, did we just cause this 7-year-old to fucking OD? They're freaking out, trying to figure out what's going on. I'm just smiling at them the entire time. Then they realize, son of a bitch, the little bastard is just pumping his hand. and that's setting off the heart rate monitor. So they call another nurse in, whose entire job is just to hold open that hand. They continue the procedure. A couple moments later, the heart rate monitor goes off again. They start freaking out again, trying to figure out what's going on because the nurse is still holding my hand open, so it's not me pumping that hand. Doctor looks down, sees me pumping my other hand. A second nurse comes in, who's now tasked with holding that hand open. Surgery continues. Heart rate monitor goes off. What the fuck is it now? They figure out I'm fluttering one of my legs enough that I was able to get my heart rate monitor to go off. 2 more nurses come in because they're done with this shit and they just hold my legs up. So, as I'm just going in for a routine gynecologist surgery procedure, nothing ridiculous, something that is an in and out sort of ordeal. They now have to have 4 additional staff members in the room that are just tasked with making sure that I don't fucking troll the doctor.
I remember when I was younger, I was freaking out about getting my wisdom teeth taken out. And my only memory of anything involving wisdom teeth is my sister's surgery. Because she found out that she was allergic to the anesthesia. So, when she had her surgery done, at the end she was crying so much that they had to give her IV fluids to rehydrate her. And so that is what I was like, oh, that's going to be my future when I get my wisdom teeth done. And so when they scheduled it, the doctor's like, alright, so let's take a look at what your teeth look like. And I'm just like, okay, it's going to be a tangled mess down there. You're going to have to knock me out, and I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to be sobbing like a child. And the doctor gives me a little bit of laughing gas, and a little bit of Novocaine. And I'm like, well, this is odd. This doesn't sound like, like the normal thing. And so he takes the first tooth out, and he goes, all right, we're done. And then it's like, on to the next one. I'm like, oh, that's it? And he goes, yeah, just plucked it right out. And I go, oh. And then I started laughing so hard because I think just because of the
You
adrenaline.
had been so panicked beforehand, and it was nothing.
And then with the amount of laughing gas that they gave me, I kind of just started maniacally Joker laughing.
Glorious.
And the dentist is like, bro, you can take it easy. Like, you can pull it back a little bit. I'm like, dude, you have no idea. I thought I was gonna be openly sobbing. No, that's not gonna be a thing. Like, you have no idea how relieved I am that this is a simple tooth extraction. Although nothing will compare to scaring my... He didn't really scare my doctor. He just thought it was kind of amazing. when I busted my ACL and I went in for what I thought was just going to be one of those simple surgery type things. They're like, well, your MRI is too cloudy because of scar tissue. So we're going to have to just go in, exploratory surgery. We can see what we need to do from there after that. So we go in. He's like, do you want an epidural or do you want to be knocked out? And I'm like, well, what's the difference? And he goes, well, with an epidural, you're gonna get a needle in your back, and I'm like, you can knock me out. He goes, don't you want to hear the rest of it? I'm like, okay, fine. So he goes, okay, so they'll numb you from the spine down, and we'll be able to work on you, and you'll be fully awake, but you won't feel anything. He's like, at the very least, you'll feel us working on your leg. And I go, alright, my vote still stands. You can knock me the fuck out. And he goes, okay, so, and I don't think it really matters who you are, the type of person you are. You're gonna fight the anesthesia whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not. And I'm just like, I'm gonna fight it. You know, they say you can only last so long in regards to, you know, before the surgery or before the anesthesia hits. And so they hooked me up to the anesthesia, and they're like, all right, so we're going to give this to you. What you're going to feel is when the medication goes in, it's going to be a nice cold sensation going down your arm. And then when it hits the fingertips, it's going to be like just a little bit of a pain, but that's just your nerves numbing. And then by the time it gets to your wrist, you'll be unconscious. And I go, can you fight this kind of thing? He goes, why would you? And I go, I don't know, because, like, just to fight to see if your body can be like, yeah, I can withhold this. And he goes, you can try. So I he put the IV in, got the medication done. I felt it hit the fingertips, and I'm like, all right, here it comes. And he goes, all right, you should be going out. And then I'm like, it's at my wrist. And he goes, all right, you can count down to 99, or count down from 100. And I go, okay, 100, 99, 98. And then by then it was up to my elbow. And I'm like, hey, I can't feel my elbow. And then I was out. Like, and he goes, yeah, most people don't make it past the elbow. He's like, there's a few people that can, like, they're usually by the time it's by their wrist, they're already unconscious. But yeah, just some people, it just really depends on their natural resistance.
Yep. For me, it has been noted at least twice in my medical records now that if I'm getting put down for surgery, I have to be gassed, because I had, when it was a hernia surgery, they went to knock me out. First they did intravenous knockout meds, and they waited the entire time that it should take for me to be passed out. I was still talking with them, with no sign of being passed out, no sign of even being close to being knocked out. So they gassed me, and I can remember this vividly to this day. it was, okay, count back from 100. While taking deep breaths in between each number. So, 100, 99, 98, what comes after 98? That was my reaction to it. Gas can take me down. The meds that they pumped in me beforehand to pass or to cause me to knock out did not cause me to knock out. The shoulder surgery was the other major time that this came up, where I was going in to get two muscles reattached to the bone. I'd ripped them completely off. So, as I'm waiting for the surgery to start, they come in and they explain again that, well, for this one, we should just be able to do a nerve block. And do you know what nerve blocks are?
Yeah, that's an injection you get that numbs the nerve.
Functionally, you forget that that thing belongs to you. It is so dead.
Yeah.
And they are damn near 100% effective. The very important part of that is damn near, not absolutely 100%. Because I was taken in, they explained what was going to happen, they explained how the nerve block works. They told me that that I would have the shot after 15, 30 minutes. My arm would be completely dead. I would forget that I even have an arm. I wouldn't be able to move it, wouldn't be able to feel it. It'd just be completely dead. I went, okay. So they gave me the injection of the nerve block. And they came back 15 minutes later. They said, so, how's your arm doing? Or rather, they started to say that. They got partway through that sentence because I went, hey doc, and I waved with the arm that was supposed to be dead. So it was more of a, so, how are you? Hey doc. Oh. Let's give it 30 minutes. And they waited the 30 minutes to see if it would activate. It didn't activate in 30 minutes. They waited 45 minutes. It didn't activate. Each time that they're coming back, I'm scratching my head with that arm. I'm waving at them. I'm gesturing as I'm speaking like I have Italian hands. And eventually they go, okay, maybe we got the shot in the wrong position. We're going to give you another shot, see if this one is able to take. If so, fantastic, we'll continue on with the surgery as we have planned. If not, then we're going to have to rethink how we're doing this. So, they give me another shot, 15 minutes later, still using the arm, 30 minutes later, still using the arm, 45 minutes later, still using the arm, they wheel in laughing gas, and they wheel in a cart of morphine. Their new plan was they are going to give me a massive dose of morphine and gas me. And they're just going to, every so often during the procedure, gas me again. So, they give me the dose of morphine, and then they put the mask on my face. They asked me to count down. Very similar experience from the previous time, where I get to maybe 96. if that. And then I'm out. They wheel me in, they do the surgery. You know how you're supposed to wake up in the recovery room?
Yeah.
After surgery? So, I don't wake up in the recovery room. I wake up the moment the foot of my bed hits the operating room door.
Nice.
So they have just finished the fucking surgery on me. My bed hits the door, I wake up, I look up at the nurse, I say, my shoulder hurts, and I'm hungry. Can I have food and painkillers? You aren't supposed to feel pain that quickly after, especially if the nerve block actually took. The nerve block lasts for about 24 hours.
Yeah, that's not a slow... It's not a slow burn.
Yeah, it lingers. So, the nurse originally doesn't realize that the person on the cart is talking to them. They figure, oh, it's one of these, no one else is here. And they're kind of looking around as I'm looking up at them going, no, look down, I'm on the bed. I'm the one talking to you. Can I get some food? And can I be given something for my shoulder? They tell me that they have to... It probably wasn't a nurse, it was probably just a tech, since they were wheeling me out of the room. But they say that they have to get me to the recovery room first, and then they'll get a doctor, and let the doctor know that I'm asking about food and some medicine. I say, okay, they get me to the recovery room. My mom's there, I just start talking to her once I'm wheeled into the recovery room. And the doctor comes in, starts doing the normal, proper procedure of... So, I was told that you're hungry? Yep. You don't feel nauseous? Nope. Not at all? Nope. Are you sure? Because we gave you a lot of morphine, and morphine makes people nauseous. Nope. No nausea. Well, is it okay if I give you something really small to start, just to make sure that way you don't have anything negative happen? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll come back with some crackers and a bit of ginger ale, and we'll see how you handle that before we give you anything more. Also, I was told that you're feeling pain. Part of the reason why they didn't give me meds was asking for meds that quickly. Kind of drug-seeking behavior. And I explained to the doc, yeah, I'm feeling pain, and they went, where exactly are you feeling pain? And I said, well, my shoulder. No, where exactly in, or on or in your shoulder are you feeling pain? My shoulder's complete.
Oh, did we lose you? Yeah, I think we lost him. Well, that was weird.
What?
You dropped, and then
Oh, I dropped.
StreamYards dropped me.
Did Did I drop mid-story or did I drop at the end?
You dropped mid-story.
Where was I in the story?
Let's see. You were talking about where you were feeling the pain.
Say again?
Where you were feeling the pain.
Oh yeah. So, massive bandage over my shoulder. I can't see where the incision marks are. The doctor knows where the incision marks are because it's the doctor that just did the surgery. So, when he asked, where do you feel pain? I went to my shoulder. He asked me for more specifics. And I went, well, I feel pain here, 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 and then deeper in my shoulder. Where I had pointed to on my shoulder was apparently I tapped right over the bandage where each of the incision marks were, over this big mound of bandage that covered my entire shoulder. And that was when the doctor realized, oh, you are actually feeling pain. So,
no shit.
They gave me pain meds. They gave me crackers and ginger ale. I ate the crackers and ginger ale when I was still not feeling nauseous. I finally got real food again. But yeah, it has at least twice been noted in my medrecs that I need to be gassed and I need to be given large doses.
I'm going to have to mark that next time.
It has also been noted at least once that I've gained tolerances at a ridiculous rate.
There was, like when I had my, go back to my ACL story here, when I was, when I came out, the doctor looks at me and he goes, I've seen some injuries before, but in all honesty, you should not have been walking. He's like, I looked into your, and because what I ended up doing is I had my ACL hurt, but the ACL was torn off at the base. My MCL was folded back into the joint, and my that one was completely. It looked like a flat tire.
Ouch.
He's like, you shouldn't have even been walking. He's like, but what I've noticed is that the muscles on the side of your leg are trained to take over the muscle that's in the front of the knee.
Yeah, they're compensating.
Yeah. He's like, not a lot of people can do that. It definitely takes practice. And hopefully with physical therapy you can get that muscle back. And he goes, how long have you had this injury? And I go, well, when I first heard it was my senior year in high school. He goes, and how old are you now? And I'm like, 22. He goes, yeah, you're not getting that muscle back.
So, I had an ACL injury as well. Not to the same extent as you, because it was just the ACL that got trashed in my case. I had a 74% tear of the ACL. The ACL is almost completely avascular, as your doc probably told you. Which means that...
He probably did, I don't remember.
What that means is that functionally, if the ACL is damaged, in the overwhelming percentage of the population, the ACL will not heal. Because in order to heal, you need blood supply. It being almost completely avascular means it doesn't get blood. But I had a 74% tan. And got that my freshman year of high school. Someone tried to shatter my leg. Actually, two someones tried to shatter my knee. I was playing football. My team was winning at the time. I got chop blocked 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage directly on the knee at a 45-degree angle.
Damn.
So the first guy that hit my leg dislocated his shoulder through the shoulder pads on my knee. The second guy hit my knee and drove it like a football sled, hyperextending it front to back and left to right. I could not collapse my leg until I punched down between his shoulder blades, drove him just below my knee, and then punched out the back of my leg in order to get it to actually collapse. So, I had that knee injury. The tolerance point for if surgery is needed is if you have 25% or less than your ACL, surgery, automatically. I had 26%. I did not need surgery originally. So I just lived with a bit of a drain. That was okay. I didn't get surgery on my knee until my sophomore year of college. When I needed to get knee surgery because while my knee was weakened, my leg muscles ended up overcompensating. And in their overcompensation, they started to pull my kneecap out of the socket and turn it sideways. I had a bursa sac herniate, which pushed it further, turned it more, and I had a bone spur form, which pushed it further, turned it more. So for about a year, I had bone-on-bone grinding as my kneecap was damn near sideways.
Lovely.
So I needed surgery for that. When I was getting the imaging to confirm everything, the doctor who was dealing with my knee at that point went, "Are you sure that you had an ACL injury?" Because when you have an ACL injury, you can tell the ACL gets thinner, visibly, or it's just fucking gone in MRIs. I had a full ACL again.
Huh.
Somehow, my fucking knee healed the ACL. But in the time that it took to heal the ACL, all this other shit went wrong. And the doctor ended up asking me to bring in, or to have the old imaging transferred to him so he could take a look at it to confirm that the ACL had been injured at some point. When he got my old imaging, he went, "Oh, yeah, this actually did happen. This is fucking weird." And then went forward with the surgery. But yeah, my ACL ended up healing, but in the process, the rest of my leg just went to shit. The surgery for that ended up being slitting my thigh muscle in 7 locations in order to relax it enough.
Ugh.
that it would release the kneecap from its awkward angle, grinding down a bone spur and excise that herniated bursa sac. Which, by the way, for those who don't know, bursa sacs are these fluid-filled sacs in your joints that lubricate the joint. Think of them kind of like a ball bearing made out of jelly.
And when you bend your knee and you hear a kind of sound, that's not good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, because of that year of bone-on-bone grinding, my knee's still giving me problems, even though the ACL's healed. Just been wandering back through the areas that you've been to.
Pretty much.
Trying to figure out where the fuck am I supposed to go.
Yeah, not going that way.
Are you absolutely sure that you couldn't make the jump?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure.
By the way, these shrimp katsu patties with that Asian sort of tartar sauce, oh good god, they're delicious.
Nice.
But yeah, if you ever want to have a really good way of having kind of that tartar sauce taste while also matching a Asian dish, it's really easy to make an Asian tartar sauce. All you do is you make your own quick pickles. Then you make a relish out of those quick pickles. Mix that into some mayo, add some additional spices.
Some creme de tartare.
You can add a little bit of lemon or lime. And boom, you have a tartar sauce. It's delicious. Also, use Japanese flavor. That's really the secret.
Alright, yeah, let's see. There we go. put a marker here. Place marker. There we go. I shall stay there until I defeat 15 enemies.
Mm-hmm. Would you just keep on running past enemies?
So I was thinking about doing something at work that I think would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But the down part of it is that I'm gonna actually have to be hard for doing it since it's my idea. And I don't want to. But I was talking with my wife and she's like, yeah, it's actually not that bad of an idea. And I was thinking, because there are a lot of calls that I take that are like people don't know a lot about their insurance policies. They just kind of get it and expect it to be the all-knowing, thing. And I was thinking, sort of like an educational thing. Like getting to know your insurance policy type thing. At least it's just a thought, and my wife thinks it's a good idea.
So the question that you're currently dealing with is it a good enough idea to deal with the frustration of having to implement it?
That is a good question. Because, I'm like, I like the idea, but I don't want to do it. I want to make other people do it.
The way that I would answer that question of if it is a good enough idea to deal with the frustration of implementing it is figure out how much work it would save you going forward and then compare that to the amount of work that you would have to do to implement it.
Oh, it's going to be heavy work because people are going to want to talk politics about it. And it's like, I already hate you if you're going to ask me about that.
But, the work will be a pain in the ass. If it saves you more work going forward, then it's worth implementing it. Even if it's a lot of work at the front, because it saves you work over time.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's not that bad of an idea. It's just a matter of wanting to talk to people about that kind of stuff. Or people wanting to even learn about it. Because that's going to be the big thing. Is people are going to want to have to learn about that.
it's, like I said, one of those things that whenever I'm dealing with a problem like that at my work, it becomes, is the amount of work that I have to do less than the amount of work that I would end up having to do if it's not implemented. Because there's a lot of shit that, if it's a lot of work to fix a problem that is only 1% of my work,
Yeah.
that isn't really worth it. But if it's a problem that I'm having 20% of the time, then putting in a fair bit of work at the front end to get rid of 20% of my work from then on, that's worth it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of wondering if people would actually like want to do that. That's how long have we been going? An hour and a half?
Something like that, I think, yeah.
Yeah, my back's starting to hurt a little bit because I don't have a back to this chair that I'm sitting on.
Oof.
So my back is killing me.
Did you snap the back off of it somehow?
Well, the screws came out, and so that was I just took them off because we lost the screws. So there's no sense in breaking the chair.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of I'm gonna get a chair tomorrow anyway. So
Getting the right size screws if you want to repair it, or just swapping.
well, it's an old chair, so it just needs to go anyway. So but yeah. It's a quote-unquote gaming chair, but I really don't care. I just want a chair that I can lean back in a little bit and not wreck my back sitting in. But are you going to be going tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Tyr, I believe, is taking over for me.
All right.
And then I'll be back next week. And then the following week, Adam's taking over for me. And then I'll be back the next 3.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So with that, the zoo is closed. Have a good night.
Have a good night, all.